G'day, Finroo here, how you doing? I thought I'd give you a few tips, if you're interested, on how to get the most out of your sparge, get the most efficiency out of your brew day. I'll just move my stool back here a bit close. So the first thing we've got is what we're doing when we're sparging. Well, we're rinsing and washing out the sugars that are in the grains after the mash. Okay, so what we've done is we've done a mash for, in my case, 80 minutes, in a lot of cases 60 minutes, but I do 80 minutes. And then after 80 minutes, I then do a mash out. So what I do is I'll put boiling water in there to bring my mash up to about 70 degrees, which is the best that I can do with the system that I've got, and it works fine. So now we've mashed out and I've let it settle for 10 minutes. I'm going to start sparging. Just want to check that. Okay, so the first thing is, what temperature are we going to sparge at? What is the most efficient? Well, it seems to be that 75 degrees is the key temperature. Okay, any hotter than that and we're going to start taking drawing tannins and astringency out of the husks of the grain, so we don't want that. So that's what we get. So we don't have it any hot. Sorry, we don't want to have it any hotter than that, and any lower than that. Well, under 70, under 71, sort of thing. 70, we're going to start to minimise our efficiency a bit. So there's a golden sort of temperature, which is 74, 75 degrees. If you can keep it at that, you're going to be smooth sailing through there. And the other thing too, while we're talking about astringency, is the sparge water pH is very important. Of course, as we wash the grains down and all the sugars are starting to run out into the pot, of course the pH is going up because all those sugars and the acidity is running out. And what happens is, as the pH rises, what happens is it wants to start drawing tannins out of the husks and add astringency to your beer. We don't want that. So the trick there is, on your sparge water, try and get it under 6 pH with a bit of lactic acid. I find works really well. If I'm doing a dark beer like this one, I'm just under 6, I'm about 5.8, and if I'm doing a pale, I'm about 5.2, 5.3, ballpark. Okay, so that means that as it's rinsing through, as I'm sparging through, as all the sugars are running out, then I can put in the sparge water's going through, and the pH is going to be down, and trying to keep that pH down. We don't want it to go too high, because as I said, once it starts to rise, start drawing astringency out of the grains and the husks. Okay, so that's really cool. Sparge water under 6, temperature 75 degrees. Now a track here, what I'm going to do is, I've got, looking at there, just a little bit higher, about 76, but just turn my little camp cooker off. So it's 76, but for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to go at 76. As I said, 75 is optimum. Okay, so maybe I'll lose a degree by the time I finish talking and it gets into this pot, so it'll be okay. So I'm going to sparge through here, if you can see that, and I'm raining down all the liquor, the water. I'm raining that down on top of the grain bed. So it wants to stay. You don't want to don't let it get away on you, and so you have the liquor or the brew water go down below the grain bed. So you have the grain sticking out the top. Okay, you want to keep it above, so you're continually rinsing all those beautiful sugars out of the grain bed, down through and into your boil pot. Now, another thing is that when you're sparging, quite often, especially if you're sparging too fast, which is another issue, too fast can cause a stuck mash. Block mash, stuck mash, because it's just drawing it down too much and it packs the grains in too tight around your false bottom or your manifold or whatever. So you just want to make it nice and quiet and nice and smooth, and just let it rinse through properly. So another thing to do, just in case your wash is finding its own little ways down through the mash and missing out other bits, take your paddle or rake or whatever you want. I've got this paddle here, and just gently go along the top of the grain bed. just down the top, about the top 10 millimeters. And just gently drag it along the top of the grain bed. You can kind of feel it. And it's a little bit uneven, and you're just sort of smoothing it out like you would smooth out to the top of a sand, you know, when you're at the beach and you're just smoothing out the top of the sand. So just doing that, and that'll make sure that the flow of liquor or the sparge will wash down nicely, and try and keep it a nice even wash. It's really important. You don't want it going down any other parts. See you later, Des. I'm talking to YouTube.
Oh, okay. Hooroo.
Bye. Okay, so that's what we do. Just gently raking that back and forward so it'll be really, really washing all those grains down nice and neat. So that's about it. That's all we have to do. And if you those few tips, if you just do them, then you'll find that you'll improve your efficiency of your mash, and it'll be spot on. So cheers. Take care. Yeah.